Qatar has suspended its role as a key mediator for a Gaza ceasefire and hostage release deal. Qatar's foreign ministry in a statement on Saturday said it would resume its role when Hamas and Israel show their willingness to negotiate. The Gulf country has been working alongside the United States and Egypt for months to broker a ceasefire in the year-long conflict between Israel and Hamas in Gaza. The latest round of talks in mid-October failed to produce a deal, with Hamas rejecting a short-term ceasefire proposal. Disagreements have centered on the long-term future of Hamas and Israel's presence in Gaza. The Israeli military chief Herzi Halevi vowed to continue operations till all hostages are rescued. He made the remarks as he met army commanders in Jabalia in northern Gaza Strip.
From this position of power, we are supporting our civilians who are held hostages and soldiers who are prepared to fight with tremendous determination, as well as pay a price to bring them home. We are not stopping or slowing down. This is to bring back the hostages, to ensure security for the surrounding communities.
Israeli protesters expressed concern for hostages release in Gaza after Qatar said it was pulling back as a key mediator for a ceasefire that would help bring the captives home. Thousands of people rallied in Tel Aviv holding signs reading 400, the number of days since the hostages were taken when Hamas attacked southern Israel on October 7 last year. Protesters also demanded that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu secure a deal to release the hostages held by Hamas.
Qatar withdrawing for us is a chaos because they were the lead connection to the Hamas leadership in Qatar and the Hamas leadership in Gaza. And now without them, we don't know who's going to be in charge of this threat connection, if it's going to be the Turkish, if it's going to be the Egyptian, if it's going to be anyone else. But a chaos and another delay in hostage release would be very bad for us, and we don't know who's going to talk to them.
All right, indeed, India correspondent Akshay Dongre joins us live for more on this. Hi, Akshay. West Asia tensions not dialing down, certainly, and now Qatar has pulled back as a key mediator for a ceasefire. What can we make out of it?
Well, certainly the changes that we are seeing in the US presidency now are clearly having ripple effects when it comes to the politics of West Asia. This was expected, in fact, when it comes to the presidency or the expectations of the policy that will be changed as far as the US government is concerned. It is going to have a major impact on the kind of conflicts that have been going on. We have seen strongly worded statements coming in from President-elect Donald Trump earlier as well, where he has, in fact, on several occasions said that he's going to take a tougher stance when it comes to the conflict is concerned, and cracking down and trying to find out ways to resolve the conflict as well. Now, clearly, the Qatari leadership also has an idea about the changing dynamics of the US involvement that are going to take place in the next few months, and providing a safe haven for the Hamas leadership does not go in favor of the Qatari leadership that will be in the world of a world where the President of the United States is Donald Trump, who has on many occasions sided with Israel as far as this conflict is concerned. Now it remains to be seen that what exactly are going to be the moves by the Hamas leadership, because it has been over a year. Most of the top leadership of Hamas has been staying in Qatar. The conflict has been stretching for quite some time now, and it remains to be seen that how the two sides, be it the Israeli leadership or the Hamas leadership, are going to find out ways to now dial down this conflict, or what is going to be the solution that will be provided by US President Donald Trump.
Indeed. Akshay, Qatar's foreign ministry also said that it would resume its role when Hamas and Israel show their willingness to negotiate. By looking at the current circumstances, Akshay, do you think that it would be possible anytime soon?
Well, yes, Siddharth, you're absolutely right. The language that is now being used by even the Qatari government or the leadership has also changed quite a lot just in a few days. when it comes to this particular conflict is concerned. Now, there were also questions that were being raised, Siddharth, that whether the Hamas leadership that has been staying in Doha or other parts of Qatar, whether they will be sent out. There were rumors coming in, or other reports coming in, that the Qatari leadership will be asking the Hamas top leadership that has been staying in Qatar to move out of the country. But when the questions were raised, the Qatari government has said that these reports are not confirmed, and there will be some other resolution that will be found as far as this particular conflict is concerned. But to your question of whether some kind of seriousness will be showed by the Israeli government or the Hamas leadership in trying to wind down this conflict now, that is a very big question. That doesn't seem to be happening anytime near future. And with the kind of stepping back that has been done by the Qatari leadership, clearly both sides will be at loss. With Israel will be, especially the people who are waiting for the hostage return, they will now be clueless about the kind of negotiations that have been taking place. It is an abrupt end to it. And when it comes to the civilians in be it Gaza or in southern parts of Lebanon, they will also be faced with a lot of questions on who exactly is going to bring a negotiation to this particular conflict that has been going on, resulting in so much of death and misery in the region.
Definitely. All this comes to a question, Akshay, that what are the prospects for the release of hostages in Gaza? If the ceasefire negotiations continue to stall?
Well, not much, Siddharth, because there is only one solution to it. If the negotiations fail, then the Israeli government will have only one option, but to send in troops to launch a massive search and evacuation in all of Gaza, which they have been trying to do for a long time now, without much success. So negotiation has been the only way. In fact, the Indian leadership and the other leaders across the world have called for dialogue and discussions and negotiation to bring in some kind of peace formula when it comes to the conflict that has been going on. But with negotiations failing, this is yet another blow to expectations and hopes that that peace will prevail as far as this particular conflict is concerned.
Definitely, Akshay. And last question before I let you go. How do you analyze this entire situation which is prevailing right now in the West Asia?
Well, we have been analyzing the situation for a long time, Siddharth. In fact, you have done it quite extensively as well. When it comes to the region, the situation remains bad. The situation remains quite grim when it comes to the civilians, not only in Gaza, not only in southern Lebanon, but also for the people who are waiting for hostages to return in Israel as well. The political leadership is working on its own agendas and its own objectives rather. But when it comes to the civilian population that have been facing the largest amount of this misery coming out of, or rather, that was the collateral of this war. It's quite grim, and as of now, unless some stern actions are being taken by the top leaders across the world when it comes to this conflict, not much seems to be happening when it comes to peace on the ground.
All right. Thank you so much for your analysis, Akshay. We'll let you go right now.